welcome to Saturday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, and another puzzle from the brilliant Akash Jain, who compiles under the name Udukos, a name that for some reason I find it impossible to remember in terms of the ordering of its vowels and consonants. And even when I remember, it's not just a reversal of the word Sudoku, it still seems to flummox me. I'm hoping I'll finding his puzzle a little bit easier. Now, amusingly, Akash wrote us an email about the puzzle on the screen. You can see there's rather a dearth of digits at all, not even in the killer cages, absolutely nothing. But Akash was concerned. He said that this puzzle is some of his best work, and it should be a joy to solve, but he was worried that we might find it too easy. Well, I'll let you into a secret. Our testers, some of whom are completely brilliant solvers, did not find it easy. So I don't think Akash needs to be too concerned. Now, before we get into the rules of this, do check out our Kickstarter book if you've not done so yet. The campaign, which still has about 30 days to run, is doing so well that we're going to be able to make what was already going to be a fantastic book even better. So it's incredibly exciting, and we have more planned for this book. So check out on the screen. There's a card there. Look at the card there. On the app front, by the way, if you own our classic Sudoku app, then do make sure it's updated, as we very recently released new puzzles for it, and we're currently working on a big puzzle update for Thermo Sudoku as well, at the same time as trying to test some incredible puzzles we've been sent for the upcoming Killer Sudoku app. This app is going to be absolutely sensational, but testing lots of killers by the likes of Fistimafel is, how can I put it, it's not an activity that passes by in the blink of an eye. So bear with us. We have a lot to do, and we have a lot on, but we are getting to it. Now, let's go to Akash's puzzle. I'm going to call him Akash. Sorry, Akash. I know I should use your pseudonym, but it's easier for me. Now, the rules are normal Sudoku rules apply. Normal killer Sudoku rules apply, which means within cages, digits have to sum to a total. I'll get onto that in a moment, and you can't repeat digits in a cage. Now, within every 3x3 box marked by the thick black line, so in every box of the Sudoku, all the killer cages have the same sum. Also, killer cage sums are unique for every 3x3 box, i.e. if box 1, the top left box, had killer cages each of which sum up to 10, then none of the other boxes can have killer cages with a sum of 10. Okay, the killer cage sums are not given and have to be deduced. How kind, right? And Akash actually produced an example. Let me show you. Here's the example. This is a smaller grid. But, okay, so you can see that the killer cages in box 1 here sum to 8, then to 7, then to 6, 9. Okay, so I can see how that's working. That's fairly self-explanatory. I don't know if that Sudoku works. You're welcome to try it. I'm going to try this one. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. And with that, I get to play. Let's get cracking and see how to do this. Now, okay, right. Well, this box must be resolvable because the cages in it exactly encompass all of the cells in the box. So we actually know that, well, let's get back to basics. If we looked at the solution to this puzzle, what digits would we see that were in yellow in this box? Obviously the digits 1 to 9. So we know that this box, the yellow cells, must sum to 45, because that's what we get if we add up all of the digits from 1 to 9. Now, if 3 boxes add up to 45, each box must add up to 15, and that is not quite helpful. I mean, we know that this 2-cell cage adding to 15 must either be 6, 9 or 7, 8, but that's all we know, I think. But at least we know what that one is. And that's the only box in this puzzle that is completely resolved. Everything else has gaps, like this one. Okay, so what are the values of this? We know, I suppose, that this is a single-digit number, and what's left when this is removed from 45 must be divisible by 3, because there are 3 boxes, or 3 cages left in this box. So this can't be 0, obviously, so it's going to have to be 3, 6 or 9, isn't it? And if that's the case, these cages here are going to either sum up to 42 divided by 3, it's 14, 39 divided by 3, 13. So these add up to 12, 13 or 14. Okay. That's interesting. Look, that is exactly the same in terms of profile as this one. So this must be also 3, 6 or 9. This one is different though. Look at that. This one has only one gap, but this time we've got 4 boxes that need to take up the remainder. So we need to make sure that 45 minus this equals a number divisible by 4. So that can be a 1, obviously, because 44 is divisible by 4, gives 11. So it's got to be 1, 5 and 9, presumably. So the totals for this one are either 11, 10 or 9. I'm sorry about the way I'm doing it. I don't know if there's a quicker way. This is the way that I'm sort of doing it very bitterly. I'm well aware of that. This one has a small total because it has a single cell cage. 6, 20. Okay, and this can't be a 6 because if it is, the cage cells would only add up to 24, which would mean these two would have to add to 21, which is impossible. So this 7 4's 28. Yeah, that would work. If this was a 7, these two squares would have to add up to 17. And the way I get that, obviously, is 4 7s are 28. 45 minus 28 is 17. That is possible if these are 8 and 9. So this has got to be 7, 8 or 9. Okay. Let me just have a look round again. This one's this. Oh yeah, this one's the same as this one. It's got a single cell cage and then 3 dominoes. So this must also be 7, 8 or 9. The remainder is going to have to be either 17, 13 or 9. Okay, so I've looked at these, I've looked at this one, I've looked at these two. So I've only got this one. I simply refuse to believe is of any use at all. It's got 1 cage in it of size and it's a domino, so I don't know anything about that. This one, actually this one might be interesting. This one looks less interesting than this one because at least with this one, look, I've got a 5 cell cage. So, yeah, okay. So this one, if it's got a 5 cell cage, the minimum I can make 5 cells add up to, if I can't repeat a digit, is 15. I'll use 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And this also has a domino in it, which can't add up to more than 17. So this is, and it's not 15 because that one was 15. So this K or box is much more restricted than I thought. This either adds up to 16 or 17. Now, well, okay, so that means this domino has to contain a 9 because you can't get to 16 and 17 in 2 cells without a 9. In fact, we can do better than that. Not only can we remove the 9 from this square, but this is either 7, 9 or 8, 9. So these 3 squares together are a 7, 8, 9 triple. Is that useful for this cage? That might be useful for this cage, you know, because this is 3, 6 or 9. So these are adding up to 14, 13 or 12. So if this is 3, can we make this add up to 14 without using 7, 8 and 9? 15 I know is 6, 5. No, this is very nice. This is impossible because if this is 3, these have to add up to 14 without using 7, 8 and 9. And you can do that, but only like that. And that repeats the 3 in the column. Well, in the box, the 3 is repeated. So 3 is not right. which is progress of a sort, so we can remove 3 from there. 6 works. See, 6 is interesting immediately, because that now means the maximum that... No, 6 doesn't work, because the maximum this could be is 3, 4, 5, which add up to 12. That's incredibly clever. So actually, this can't be 3 or 6. It has to be 9, and we get a digit. And we get a 9 in one of those. Which, look at this. This is beautiful. It's a beautiful puzzle. Look, 9's here and 9's here. Force a 9 into one of those 3 squares. But we know that the total for these dominoes here is either 7 or 8. So neither of them could take a 9. Otherwise, immediately we'd have to put a negative number in the other cell, which is not possible. So the 9 goes at the bottom, removes a 9 from that square. It's like a trail of breadcrumbs we're following. That one's not 9 now. So, okay, so this one and this one, which have the same sort of topology, are now taking... Yeah, if this is 8, 32. So 7 and 8 have now gone. This either adds up to 13. Yeah, okay, so this square is either 8 or 4. This either adds up to 13 or 17, depending on what we pick for this square. Which must be the same, of course, for this one. Oh, in fact, look, the 9 here, where does the 9 go in this one? It's the same as this one. The 9 can't go in a cage, because the cages add up to 7 or 8. The 9 can't go there by Sudoku, so the 9 goes here, which means this square must also be a 4 or an 8, like this one. 9 must be in one of those 3 squares. This is gorgeous. This is just gorgeous. Okay, so 9 is in one of these 3. This is the 15 box. Everything in this adds up to 15. So how does this domino work now? It can't have a 9 in it, so it's got to be 7 and 8 to add to 15. That gives a 7-8 pair in row 3, which tells us this one can't be an 8. That's a 4. Which, of course, tells us now what this one is. Because this box now has sort of cells outside the cages adding to 13. So this must be an 8 in order to make sure that 4 8s are 32. And if this is 8, that can't be 8, or we'd be duplicating the cage totals for these 2 boxes. So this must be 7, which means this is 8. This is 8. This is 7 by Sudoku. This cage gets resolved as well, doesn't it? Because now this is 17, plus 17 is 34. These have to add up to 11, so without using 8 or 9. So that's 5, 6, or 4, 7. Look, that can't be 7. That can't be 4. Sorry, that can be 4. That can be 7. That can't be 4 because that would put a 7 here. 8 by Sudoku must go in this square. This box is adding up to 36, 12, isn't it? So with the 8 here, this must be 1 and 3 to make up this cage is total. This domino needs to add to 12. And it can't use 8 or 9, so it must be 5, 7, and we can do that as well. 7, 5. This lot must be 2, 4, and 6 to complete the box. That's not 4. Wow, okay, so we have actually done quite well here all of a sudden. Yeah, this square is resolved. It can't be 4 or 6. That's 5, which tells us that this must be a 6, because we know those add to 13. That's not... this isn't 5 or 9. This adds to 1, which means this box is full of 11 cages. Don't know how to use that yet. This one is full of 8 cages. Right, okay, we can do something here, look, because 7 is locked into the top row. So if 7 is locked into the top row, we know 7 must accompany 1. So the 1 must be in one of those 3 squares. The 1's aligned now in row 1 and row 2, look. So where do we put the 1 in row 3 of the grid? We know it's not here, it's not there, so it must be in one of those 2 squares. This box is adding to 15. Ah, okay, so 9 here. 9 needs another 6, and we can't use 1, 5, so this is 2, 4, 9. Let's get rid of the 9. 2, 4, 9 means this is a 6, this is a 2, this is a 4, and we are actually cooking with gas, aren't we? We're doing quite well. And there's nothing easy about this, but I tell you what there is about it. It's just brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. 6, 4 into those squares because these add up to 7. This must be a 2, 5 pair. Therefore, we get the value of these, which is 4 and 7. These 3 squares have got to be 1, 2, 3. That's not 1. This one needs 1, 3, 5, and 6 to complete this 15 cage. You can see the 5 can't go there. This can't... Yeah, that can't be a 1. We know that already. So this has got to be 3 or 6. This has got to be 2 or 5. Because we know these 2 add up to 8. Now, can we go any further here? It's one of these moments when I can feel you all shouting at your screen saying, yes, stop being an idiot. I'm really not trying to be an idiot, I promise. Okay. I shouldn't have said I was cooking with gas. The moment I said it, I've basically completely stumbled. 1, 3, 5, and 7 into those squares. This must be the same then, 1, 3, 5, or 7. Right, so this square has a mirror here. I can see that. Yeah, okay, so this is not bad, actually. It resolves this can't possibly be a 5. Because if we look, I mean, the simple way of seeing that is where's the 5 going in row 1 of the grid? It must be in one of those squares where it must accompany a 3. So this can never be a 3, 5 pair. This has got to be 2, 6. That becomes a 1, 3 pair. This becomes a 5, 6 pair. Therefore, this must be a 5 or a 7 because we know this is the mirror of that one. And there the trail does run cold. Well, except we know that's not a 1 or a 3. This has got to be the counterpart to this square. So let's take stock. What have we used? We've used 15. We've used 12. So we've used 12 and 15. We've used 8. So we've used 7, 8, 11, 12, 15, and this one was 17. So we've still got quite a lot that we could use. What's this one? Can we resolve this one? This one is either 14 or 13. I don't think I've said any of those. No, this one was 12, wasn't it? So I think this one is still entirely unresolved. So how do we finish this off then? And when I say finish it off, I appreciate I'm not anywhere near finishing it off. But this one... got it. Okay, this 4. This 4 is rather beautiful. Look at the effect it has on this box. We've got to put a 4, 7 into this box. Well, neither of those can be 4, 7 because that will rule out those 2 squares straight away. And the 4 means that can't be a 4, 7 either. So this is a 4, 7 and we actually know the order. That is gorgeous. And it appears completely useless. Oh no, it's not useless because the 7 resolves that square. 5, 3, 3, 1. This is now a 1, 7 pair and we have a 1 here. So 1, 7. So 4 lives on the left-hand side of box 7. 7 lives in one of those 2 squares. This domino is resolved. Well, not resolved, but I know it's a 2-9 pair because it adds to 11 and it can't be 3, 8, 4, 7 or 5, 6. So that's 2, 9. These squares are 1, 6 and 8. The bottom one, 1, 6 and 8. This one can't be 8. 6 must be in... Ah, yeah, look, the 6 and the 8 here. So 6 must be on the left-hand side of box 4. Therefore, 5 must be in one of those 2 squares. And the same goes for 8. 8 must be here. So 3 must be here. So this is a 3, 6 pair. This is a 5, 8 pair. Now, what does that mean? That means that these 3 squares... Ah, yeah, look. These 3 squares have got to be 3, 7 and 9. But 7 and 9 can't go here. So this is 3. This is a 7, 9 pair. These squares have got to be 4... 2, 4 and 5. Oh, this 3 is pointing at that square. So this is a 6, which means this is a 13 box. That's a 1. This is 2, 4, 5 here. And this is a 13 box. So this is either 4, 9 or it's 8, 5 because it can't be 6, 7. So we can put that in. Now, is there anything going on? Have we got any pairs or triples? We've got a hidden pair. Look at this row. Where do 1 and 3 go in this row? Well, one cell that can take the 1 and the 3 is that one. The only other cell, I think, is that one. So that's got to be a 1 or a 3, and that makes a pair. It's very close to something else here, but I can't quite get a handle on it. Well, actually, look. Yeah, easier. Where does 7 go in this row? There's only one position that can be a 7. That's very clever. That's very clever. So this has to be 7. That means this is 9. That's good because that locks a 9 into one of those 2 squares, so that we now know as this adds to 13, it's 4 and 9. The 4 helps us out. That gives us 4, 3, 6, 1. We need these to add to 7, obviously. That gives us 6 and 8 here. The 1 fixes this as a 3. That's not 4 anymore. That's not 4 anymore, so 4 must live here. Oh, and look, this domino is the only one in this box. So this box's number is either 11, which is impossible, that one was 11, or 14, which is possible, because this one turned out to be 13. This is just a gorgeous puzzle. It is gorgeous. 1, 7, 8 along here. Well, in fact, let's tidy up that one first. We need 1, 7, 8 along here. That's got to be a 1. Even my scanning doesn't let me down there. This has to add up to 13, so these add up to 10. Well, we can never include a 5 in that total. That's got to be 2, 8, 7, 5. That's adding up to 13. That's good. The 3 gives us the 3 and the 1. So 1 is in one of those 2 squares. And this row needs 2, 3, 8 and 9 to finish it off. Let's now have a look at that. That's got to be a 9. That can't be a 3. This one can't be an 8. So now we've got a 2, 3 pair in row 4, which means this is 8. And we've got to presumably work out the parity of this box. What are we looking to get here? We know this has to be at least a 4, but it can't be 4 because 13 has gone, hasn't it? 13 was this one. It can't be 5. 14 was that one. It can't be 6 because 15 is this one. And it can't be 8 because there's an 8 there, and also that one's 17. This has to be 7, I think. It has to be 16. That gets us a 7 and a 4, if that's right. I'm a bit worried about that, but it felt like the logic was good. What's that square? That can't be. That's got to be a 4. So this has got to be a 5 or a 6. And this box has got to add up to 16, which means, so 16, if this is an 8, these 3 squares have got to add up to 8 as well, so they need a 1, and the 1 can only go there. So these 2 squares are either 3 and 4 or 2 and 5. So if this was a 4, this would have to be a 3. Is that possible? Can't immediately see why not. Let's carry on with some Sudoku. Maybe Sudoku will be our friend and help us to finish this off. 4, 9, 5, 6. This 5, look, that's giving me more stuff at the top there. 5, 6. You can't put a 6. That's a 6. That's 6 there. Oh, that's beautiful. That's giving us a 3 here. This one was an 11, so that's the 8. 5, 6. This 3, this 8. Yes, the 8 keeps us going. 8 and 9. This square now can't possibly be a 9, so there's only one place a 9 can go in this row. It's there. This must be a 2 or a 3. That creates a 2-3 pair, which finishes off the 9 up here, which might be useful in terms of the 4, mightn't it? Yes, that locks the 4 out of this 8 cage, so it must be 2 and 5, which means it must be this way round. The 3 goes there, the 3 and the 2. If I haven't made a mistake, the 2 goes there. Check. Yes, that's how to solve it. Brilliant. I really enjoyed that. It's just a stunning puzzle, and there is nothing easy about it. It's taken me nearly half an hour, and I felt like, yeah, there were certainly some sticking points. I hope you enjoyed it half as much as I did. Let me know in the comments as always, and do check out our Kickstarter. And thanks for watching. Back for later for another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.